All right, so I'm making this video because really there's not very many intuitive and clean ways to stop a portable air conditioner from leaking that I found. And I've had this going for a little while. This is actually the second time I've set it up, but I have this Hair portable air conditioner, and with the back here plugged like it comes, you know, from the store, it'll just leak all over the floor. So what I've come up with doing, and I've seen people put these in pans and then take the pans outside and drain them, and you know, I just wanted to have something that I didn't have to worry about. So this takes care of itself. It's basically just a sump pump inside of that. So what you can see, I have two little fittings that I use. Most of the stuff I've gotten from Home Depot, but I got a hose barb, which is this guy right here. You can see that's half-inch inside diameter, half-inch whatever inside diameter as well. And then this garden hose adapter. So you can see usually the top of the portable air conditioner has a garden hose attachment that you can hook up, and then there's also another one down here. I think that's like an overflow, but the water is basically mainly going to come from this one. So I got this garden hose adapter that I could plug in this this hose barb into as well, and I got a good amount of this vinyl tubing, this half-inch vinyl tubing, and then a bucket, and then I'll show you what's inside here. Put the camera down real quick. There we go. Let's turn this on here. So you can get all of this stuff from Lowe's or Home Depot. This right here is a float valve. So typical like sump pump style float valve. It's got a little float down here, and when it goes all the way up to the top, turns on, you can see water's flowing, and then when it drops back down, turns off. And then I got this little fountain pump as well. This is a 90 gallon per hour fountain pump, and just stuck that down to the bottom. And what happens is when you put this little float valve in here, it has a connection like this, and then your fountain pump plugs right into that. So when the float valve comes on, it switches and opens up a connection here, and your fountain pump can turn on. So basically what will happen is when this eventually fills up, it'll float that little float valve up to the point where it'll turn this switch on, and the fountain pump will pump out the water out the window. I have a little dog toy in here. I actually just moved into this apartment, so I'm still going to cut that little piece there, but I just have it going right out the window, down, you know, out to the outside, and that's a great fix because it doesn't require you to do anything afterwards. You can just kind of, you know, sit back. It'll work itself. It's basically it is a sump pump, just without, you know, the pit in your basement. And like I said, this is the second time I've done this, but you know, the first one I did worked perfectly fine. You know, for any, I guess you could use this for any portable air conditioner. They all have the garden hose attachment. So yeah, and then basically for this one I just cut a hole in the center for all the cables and hoses to go through. You can see here I was about to cut this little square, but I decided to put it right there instead. And then I just made two little notches down here to zip tie that that float valve, or the float switch, to the side of it. It's nice and clean. you know, I'll get the wires and everything tucked up. It's not the prettiest thing, but when you have a leaking portable air conditioner and, you know, it's flooding your floor, it's the best way to do it, you know, a no maintenance way without having a pan. Hope this helps.